Once upon a time, in a small, peaceful village surrounded by the wild African savanna, there lived a young girl named Zola. Zola was not like other children. She had a special gift. She could talk to animals. From the time she was little, Zola had spent most of her days playing with the animals, learning from them, and listening to their stories. The people in the village said that Zola's heart was as pure as the river, and that she was chosen by the spirits to protect the land and the animals. The village was small but happy, with bright homes and lively streets. The air was always warm, filled with the sound of chirping birds, and the sky stretched wide and blue over the golden savanna.
Zola, let us go chase the butterflies.
Okay, Kofi, but you have to catch them first.
Zola's best friend was her dog Kofi. Kofi was loyal, brave, and always ready for an adventure with Zola. Together, they spent their days in the open plains, chasing butterflies and talking to the animals that lived nearby. But one year, something changed. The rains didn't come. The sky stayed clear, and the sun was hot, hotter than ever before. The river that ran through the village began to dry up. The once green fields of grass turned yellow and brittle. The trees, once full of life, began to wither, and even the animals started to struggle. The people in the village were worried. Without water, their crops would die, and the animals would leave in search of food. Zola could see the worry in the faces of the villagers. They didn't know what to do. The animals, too, were growing weak. Zola knew that something had to be done.
The river is gone. What shall we do?
I will find a way.
She couldn't stand to see the savanna in pain, so one evening, as the sun set and painted the sky with beautiful colors, Zola made up her mind. She would find a way to bring the rain back, the call from the old tortoise. As Zola sat by the dry riverbed, thinking of what to do, she heard a voice, soft and wise, calling her name. It was Muti, the old tortoise. Muti was the wisest of all the creatures in the savanna. He had lived for many years and knew many secrets of the land.
Zola, child of the earth, the spirit of the village is angry. The balance is broken. Only you can restore it.
How, Muti? What must I do?
You must travel to the sacredbaobab tree. The spirit awaits you there. Take this. It will help you speak to all animals,
he said. Wear it well, and may it guide you on your journey. The journey begins. The next morning, Zola set off on her journey with Kofi by her side. The savanna was hot and dry, but Zola was determined. As she walked, she met a young lion named Sefu. He was small but brave, with golden fur beginning to grow around his neck. I'll come with you, Zola, Sefu said proudly. We lions are strong, and I will protect you. Soon, they were joined by Mirembe, an old zebra with bright, sparkling eyes. Mirembe had lived through many seasons of change, and she knew the land like no other. I will guide you, Mirembe said softly. But you must remember, Zola, that the land is one. We all must work together, animals and humans. Zola smiled and nodded, grateful for her new friends. Together, the group began their journey, walking through the dry grasslands, the sun beating down on them. They passed through fields of cracked earth where not even the birds could sing. But Zola kept walking, knowing that the land needed her. The test of teamwork. As they continued, they came across a great rhino blocking their path. The rhino was huge, with thick gray skin and a sharp horn that glinted in the sun. He snorted, his eyes fierce. "Who goes there?" he bellowed. "We are travelers," Zola said, her voice calm. "We seek the spirit of the village to bring the rain back." The rhino snorted again.
Only those who understand the land may pass.
He stepped forward and said,
We are all connected, humans, animals, and nature.
Sefu, Mirembe, and Kofi nodded in agreement. The rhino studied them for a moment, then stepped aside, allowing them to pass. "You may go," he said, his voice softer now. "But remember, the path is not easy." The sacred baobab tree. After days of traveling, Zola and her companions arrived at the sacred baobab tree. It was a massive tree with thick, twisted branches that reached up to the sky like the arms of a giant. The tree seemed ancient, and its roots were deeply buried in the earth. The air around it was filled with magic, and Zola felt her heart race as she approached. "Spirit of the village," Zola called out, holding the glowing necklace high. "Please, hear my plea. The land is dry and the animals are suffering. Please bring the rain and restore balance." The wind began to blow, and the ground trembled. From within the tree, a figure appeared. It was the spirit of the village, glowing with light and filled with the sounds of the earth.
Zola, child of the earth, you seek my help, but first, tell me what have you learned?
"Zola, child of the earth," the spirit spoke in a voice that was soft but powerful. "You have come seeking my help, but first, you must show that you understand the balance of life. Only then can I bring the rain." Zola closed her eyes, remembering the lessons she had learned along the way. She thought of her village, the animals, and the land.
I understand now. The land, the animals, and the people must live in harmony. Only together can we restore balance.
And the spirit smiled, and with a wave of its hand, dark clouds began to gather in the sky. The wind howled, and soon the first drops of rain began to fall. At first, they were gentle, then heavier and heavier. The land, the trees, and the animals all rejoiced. The return of the rain. As the rain poured down, Zola and her friends watched in awe. The rivers began to flow again, the trees grew green, and the animals returned to the plains. The village, once dry and silent, was now alive with the sound of laughter and joy. Zola and her animal friends returned to the village as heroes.
Zola, you have saved us all.
No, we saved each other.
Zola knew that the real hero was the land itself, and that everyone, human and animal, had to care for it together. The villagers celebrated, and from that day forward, they lived in harmony with the land, always remembering the lesson Zola had taught them. And so, the land healed, the rain returned, and the savannah flourished once again.